Once upon a time, in a land called America, there was a beautiful fairy tale. It went like this. You work hard for 40 years. You pay your taxes. You follow the rules. And when you turn 65, a magical gate opens. You receive a gold watch, a guaranteed pension, and you spend the rest of your days playing golf and sipping margaritas on a beach in Florida. For your parents or grandparents, this fairy tale was partially true. But for you, it is a lie, a dangerous mathematical lie. If you are under the age of 50 today, I have some very bad news for you. You are probably never going to retire, not in the way you think. The concept of retirement, stopping work completely for the last 20 years of your life, is a historical anomaly. It's a brief experiment that has already failed. Look around you. Why do you see 75-year-olds greeting you at Walmart? Why are elderly people driving Ubers at 2 a.m.? Do you think they just love the hustle? No, they are there because the math stopped working. Today, we are going to dismantle the three pillars of the retirement lie: the government Ponzi scheme, the Wall Street casino, and the ticking time bomb of just staying alive. Welcome to EconDecoded. It's time to wake up from the dream before it becomes your nightmare. Let's start with the biggest safety net: Social Security. Most Americans think Social Security is like a personal savings account. You think the government takes your money, puts it in a lockbox with your name on it, lets it grow, and gives it back to you when you're old. That is adorable. But that is absolutely false. Social Security is not a savings account. It is a wealth transfer system. Or, to put it more bluntly, it is the world's largest, legally sanctioned Ponzi scheme. Here is how it actually works. The money taken from your paycheck today is not being saved for you. It is being immediately mailed out to pay for your grandma's retirement right now. This system works great, as long as there are way more young workers paying in than old retirees taking out. In 1950, there were about 16 workers supporting every one retiree. The pyramid was stable, but guess what happened? People stopped having babies, and medicine started keeping people alive way longer. Today, that ratio is dropping toward 2 workers for every 1 retiree. Imagine a dinner party where 2 people have to pay the bill for themselves and a third person who is ordering the most expensive wine on the menu. Eventually, the 2 paying people go broke. The government's own data admits the Social Security Trust Fund will be insolvent by the mid-2030s. That means, when you are ready to retire, the bucket will be empty. They will either have to massively raise your taxes or slash your benefits. The safety net is already torn. Okay, you say, I won't rely on the government. I have my 401k. I'm investing. This brings us to the second part of the lie: the great risk shift. 40 years ago, companies offered pensions. This was a promise. Work for us, and we guarantee you $3,000 a month until you die. The company took the risk. The company managed the money. But corporations realized this was too expensive. So, they invented the 401k and shifted all the risk onto you. They essentially handed you the keys to a fighter jet, your financial future, without giving you any flight training, and said, "Good luck, hope you don't crash." The reality is, most Americans are terrible investors. We buy high, we sell low, we panic during crashes, and we get eaten alive by hidden fees from Wall Street managers who get rich whether you win or lose. The average American in their 40s has nowhere near enough saved in their 401k to sustain them for decades. And even if you do save, you are one bad market crash away from ruin right before you retire. Your future isn't secured. It's sitting on a roulette table. But let's assume You get lucky. Social Security still exists, and your stock picks did well. You saved $1 million. You win, right? Wrong. Because the rules of the game keep changing. Financial advisors used to say $1 million was the magic number. Today, $1 million is the bare minimum to just survive in many cities. Why? Because of the silent thief we discussed in our last video: inflation. By the time you retire in 20 or 30 years, $1 million might buy you what $400,000 buys today. And then there is the ultimate bankruptcy machine: American healthcare. Here is the darkest irony of modern life. Living a long time is now a financial curse. Economists call it longevity risk, the risk of not dying fast enough. The average couple retiring today will need an estimated $315,000 just to cover out-of-pocket medical expenses beyond what Medicare covers. And that doesn't include long-term care. A nursing home can easily cost $10,000 a month. That will drain your entire life savings in just a few years. The system is designed to extract every last dollar you saved before you are allowed to die. So, let's stop lying to ourselves. The 20th century idea of retirement is dead. It was a temporary anomaly built on demographics that no longer exist. If you are waiting for a magical date when you can stop working entirely, you are waiting for a train that isn't coming. What does the future actually look like? It looks like work. Maybe not the 9-to-5 grind, but you will likely be working part-time, consulting, or finding ways to generate income well into your 70s. Not because you want to, but because the math demands it. This sounds bleak, but accepting reality is the first step to survival. Stop planning for retirement. Start planning for perpetual financial independence. Because the fairy tale is over. And in the real world, if you stop swimming, you sink.